Hey everyone, I hope you're doing very well. I wanted to talk about a hot topic right now, which is the transition into a new economy. We got the Trump bucks, we got the stimulus money. Is there going to be another round of it? Are we going to need more money? What's happening with all the lost jobs? What are people going to do for work? It's an especially good question because we're faced with a situation that really has been magnified by the coronavirus. We've been on a trajectory for some time now where automation and robotics would take over the need to complete many tasks that people currently do to make their livelihoods. So what would people do now to make money? How will people earn money to live to cover their necessities? And another thing we're running into, especially with the coronavirus, is that we're seeing that there are essential jobs, but also non-essential jobs. Now this says a lot of things about how our economy was structured and how we should look at restructuring our economy into the future. Because when we look at restructuring our economy for the future, we want to look at making sure that everyone has those staple necessities covered, meaning those essential jobs, they have to exist. But for that huge portion of the population who doesn't do an essential job, how will they fill their time? How will they be able to provide for their families? This is something we have to explore. Well, the wisdom of Kabbalah actually speaks about this. It is saying that humanity has reached a point where our egoism is no longer developing. In past centuries, our ego developed and that caused changes in society. It caused changes in our economy. It caused changes in how we live. But we've reached a point where people are kind of flattened out with the ego. Billionaires have earned the majority of the money and now we're just left for the crumbs. And it's an issue that people are facing is how will this money be distributed? Because nowadays robots and automation can do many of the tasks to provide those staples. And of course, only a small portion of the population is left to do the essential work. And the Kabbalists have talked about this path of development, and we're reaching a point in our history where we need to develop more into human beings. And what that means is we need to develop the focus on how to have proper relations between us and proper relations with nature. Because nature is structured in such a way that all of nature, the still level, the vegetative level, and the animate level, they're all balanced completely. But the human level is not balanced. And that is due to our egoism. Now, if we work on the relations between us, we'll be able to find balance in that level, but we'll also be able to attain a higher level of reality that nature wants us to attain. Certainly, it wouldn't be just giving away money to people who have no aspirations to grow in their life and just to become sufficient upon the government. And Dr. Lightman, my teacher, says it would actually be a terrible idea to give away free money to people. People will need conditions to receive this money to cover their necessities. And the main condition is to be involved in programs called integral education. People will be spending their days and receiving almost like a scholarship, where if they're involved in these educational courses that will provide the way to grow into a human being, a more connected, more concerned person who knows how to deal with his own nature, but more importantly knows how to relate to others properly in the fact that we all exist in one system. The goal is to be in balance between each other and in balance with this singular system. And in that, we'll find such a more fulfilling life than our current life from the old world pre-corona, which was spend 8 hours a day at a job that one may or may not like. Drive maybe half hour to an hour each way to that same job. To struggle, to not be content with one's lot in life. Whereas in this integral education program, not only does one learn how to fit into the system, one learns that if one gives from himself to that system, to that human society, to one's community, one will find a whole new level of fulfillment. And that is the only condition in which we can give out a UBI. If we're giving UBI out as welfare, it would be a terrible idea. It would never work. But if we give it out on the condition of integral education and developing people, developing communities, and ultimately developing a properly connected world that subscribes to the laws of nature, then it will be very worthwhile. Especially because people need to have their necessities covered. And right now, unemployment's only going to be a bigger and bigger issue because there's so many non-essential jobs that people had and they need to fill that void with something. Thank you so much, guys. I wish you all the best, great health. Leave some likes. More importantly, leave some comments. Let's create a dialogue where we can really delve into discovering this picture and building this new world between us. It's going to be a human world. It's going to be a connected world, and we're going to do it together, guys. Thank you so much. You be well. All the best.